Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to today's DBA virtual chapter presentation. Today's topic is convert implicit is a hidden danger. Our today's speaker is Alex Grinberg. I chatted with Alex before the session, and I'm looking forward to it. He seems to have a lot of good information and knowledge and experience with this topic. So we're in store for a lot of good information today. And my name is Mike Clark. I will be the moderator for today. The virtual chapter we're attending today is one of many part of the PASS infrastructure. The virtual chapters are arranged by various kind of topics. There's language specific, there's technology specific, there's regional specific, there is a women in technology a session as well. There's architecture, there's cloud, there's BI, big data. If you want to know how to get involved with any of these sessions, if you go to SQLpass.org, that is a launching point for everything SQL Server is a part of PASS. It's a great resource to get information, to connect, to interact with other SQL Server professionals. One of the ways that we spread the word and promote things SQL Server and just share information and knowledge is through all-day SQL Saturday sessions. They're pretty much how they are what they sound like. You have SQL Server all day on a Saturday. They're around the country as well as the world. There's 6 or 7 of them coming up here in the next month, from Puerto Rico to my home state in upstate New York and Albany, Sacramento here in California where I am right now, as well as if you're in that region or you want to get justification from your boss, you can go to Paris or Singapore or Bangalore, or Bangladesh rather, all the way around the world. So if you want more information on how to participate or attend or actually present at a SQL Saturday, if you go to SQLSaturday.com, you can see all the current planned sessions as well as all the past ones. Look at the agenda, see who's speaking, and so forth. If you're interested in speaking, there's a way to apply for a specific SQL Saturday venue. So if you go to SQLSaturday.com, you can pursue that further. So the biggest training and networking session that's sponsored by PASS is the PASS Summit. It's an annual event. It is in Seattle this year. It is the last week in October. It's the 26th to 28th. They're pre-conference sessions. The 2 days preceding that, those are great sessions to get. They're all-day sessions, and you get in-depth information on the topic that you register for. I typically do attend 1 or 2 of the pre-conference sessions just to get even more detail and information on a given topic. If you're interested in registering, if you use this code right here included, that's for this particular virtual chapter, you can save $150 on that session, on your registration. So please sign up, use that code, and enjoy that discount. Excuse me. So these are a lot of these things are kind of a virtual kind of a thing. You know, the virtual chapter that we're part of right now is obviously virtual, but there are quite a few face-to-face things to do. There's a local chapter. I'm a part of the local Silicon Valley SQL Server user group. It meets right here at the Microsoft building, actually just across the street from my own building. And it's a great time to interact with people, talk about what's going on at work, how people are implementing stuff. You can actually talk to real people about real issues. If there's not a local SQL Server user group near you, if you go to SQLpass.org, there's a way to help start to create one of those. If there's not a local group, feel free to start one. We will support you in that. We'll give you materials to help promote it, ways to help have companies help support, giving you a room to meet in and so forth. So SQLpass.org, that website is a good launching point for everything SQL Server. And PASS is a volunteer-run organization. So if you're interested in being involved at any level, if you go to SQLpass.org, there's a way to say I want to be involved. And so as you see here, there's a new My Volunteering section of your profile when you register for PASS. and you can get involved that way. And please, if you have any interest whatsoever in helping out with the PASS organization, please just sign up. It is a volunteer-run organization, and we need all the help we can get. It's only as good as we can get the volunteers. So with that, we do want you to stay involved. We have these virtual chapters twice a month, but we'd like to be involved as much as possible. There's many ways to do that between LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and then once again the well-received SQLpass.org website. But we're all here today to hear about Convert Implicit, and Alex is going to be able to present that to us. Alex has been involved in SQL Server for 20 years. He's done tuning, optimization, analysis, and so forth. He's involved in SQL Server, VB.NET, and C#. He's done on-site training, so he's a very good presenter. He currently is a senior DBA at Cox Automotive. He's in the Philadelphia area. He's on the board of directors of that local user group. He attends and presents at SQL Saturday events around the country here. We're looking forward to the time together with Alex today. And Alex, I am going to make you presenter, and you are all set, sir.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Grimberg, as Mike presented me. I'm DBA at the Cox Automotive, specifically HomeNet facility in Pennsylvania, located in Exton, PA. And today I will introduce to you Convert Implicit as a hidden danger. It's topic very much, I would say, tricky because it's not too easy to detect. You can have this problem and your system not aware it's an actual problem, it's hurt you until you open up execution plan and in details go from one task to another task, and then you see Convert Implicit presented in your processes and where it's come from, and then you can see it takes extra resources for system to process this operator. So a little bit of the history. Convert Implicit started as a part of execution plan operator since SQL Server 2005, who have solid experience, number of years working with SQL Server and work with version back to, let's say, 200, maybe SQL 7, even worse 6.5. You know that, for example, if you declare integer and then try to assign number 1 as a string, you will receive conversion error on the previous versions. Start from 2005, if you do that, you not receive as explicit error conversion from the SQL. SQL implement Convert Implicit operator that gives you pass and assume such as way, okay, this value, it's a compatible and could be convertible type and match specific in another, let's say, another type, which is not directly assigned, but could be used as a different type. That's why Convert Implicit presented an execution plan. So let me go to code and let's start to explore how it's work and why we have it. For example, I have I pick up database AdventureWorks for SQL Server 2012 and table human resources employee. We have national ID number, which is NVAR 15. So when I have query and assign number value for search and run the process, let me just a second, let me include execution plan. That's what I need. Okay, included execution plan. So we have execution plan. It's a perfect execution plan. Index seek, nothing happened. We have a at the end. Let me bring properties. At the end, seek predicate. We have a seek key, AdventureWorks, database, schema, table, column. Perfect execution plan, nothing happened. If we take more details on a statistic IO and time, we can see logical reads 2, physical 0, and it's a small table, only 291 rows, 0 time. Excellent process. So now let me bring another version. So I'll turn on execution plan. And now let me run this query. And what the difference is? Now I assign to nation number ID, number as an integer value, not a string as I have before. And that's the NVAR card, just remind you. So let's take execution plan. We have an index scan, 100%, and then you can see predicate, convert explicit. Let me bring property and go to predicate. Now, I'm not sure if you can see that. I can make it. Let me copy and paste here on my screen. I have it and make it my font bigger. So that's what we have. What we have in a task. We have a convert explicit int over database, schema, table, and column, and value what I passed as a integer value. This doesn't happen here because we just align exact data type. It's a string to string. Nothing happened. Perfect execution plan. But here we got a problem. Let's take a look of the statistics. We have logical read 6, and it's a slight resources, 1 milliseconds. Not a big deal, practically speaking, but just pretend we have a table, not 200 something, we have a 2 million rows or so. That's going to be big difference, even huge difference. So what happened was with this process? Why SQL raise convert implicit and didn't ask us question? I don't wanna have it in my query. What me to do to avoid that? We need to take some details why it's happened. Let me go to. We have a data type precedence. That's how SQL create precedence order from highest to lowest. So I have data type as an NVAR car. Oh, let me select highlighter. Okay, I have data type NVAR car, including var max. When I assign var car value as a number in a column, it's a match, 100% match, so no convert implicit presented, just to use index and return values with high efficiency. But we can see right here, integer, it's an upper level. So when I assign to a sargable column value from the different using different type, integer this time, what happened was it's a raising precedence type to upper level. And this way, SQL need to convert all column values from a table to higher level. That's why we have a, convert implicit, because we have a lower type needs to be converted to upper type. Let me go back and take one more look. If I have, for example, I created the same table, but national ID number, it's going to be integer. If I run this, I don't have index, it's a table scan, but predicate, you can see there is no converted implicit because type is match, and system don't need to raise and match type to bring the values. Go back one more time to data type precedence. That's what happened was we have a originally column and varchar, but try to use integer type in a where clause, and this way we're losing index because it's going to be index sick. We're losing index efficiency. But in another point, we did not receive an error, conversion error. SQL convert for us, but we need to pay for it, and price is convert implicit. Where it most happen and how to deal with that. Let me go and bring one live example. For example, I have this line. It's from a live database, and you can see implicit type, and this time it's an NCAR, but it still have a convert implicit, because if we go back to type precedence, and let me clear what I have before. Now, on example, what I tried to show you, original column is a varchar, but this string process, it's an ad hoc string from .NET, and .NET by default have a string as an nvarchar. So application doesn't fix for you data type, and again by default .NET have a string as an nvarchar and send you nvarchar. That's why we have convert explicit and conversion. Originally I believe it's car1, but we have a ncar which is converted to make a match. Going back here, we can see varchar, it's a low, let me erase, it's a car. So car type, car data type, lower than nvarchar. So we need to raise data type precedence. That's the original cause what happened. So when you have, and one more issue, sometimes I pick up this execution plan. When you have it, you can see execution plan very big, and if you try to find what actual statement have a problem, it could take a quite amount of time. Go for each task and try to find where I have a problem. Just let's ignore it's a temp DB. It's a not maybe real case, but it's a possible one of the case what you can have. So another issue we can detect. Okay, we detected those all returns rows all have convert explicit. How to line up, how to show nearby. That's the expression, and that's actual select statement. how to have a deal with that. Before I go in a deeper how to detect, let's take some detailed view of the most problem, because I always try to have a deal with application guys and convince those try to minimize having ad hoc queries sent to SQL Server, because ad hoc queries, everyone is different. Not everyone share my thought. By my standpoint is for maintainability and efficiency, it's better to have store procedures or function or view, better store procedure parameterize. So you .NET application can send argument and call the store procedure. This way we have better leverage of the backend processes, but it's not always convenient for .NET guys, and depends of the company structure and how they manage business, so we can dictate. But let's take a closer look what happened in a .NET process. Let's say they have a query select from, let me make it bigger, okay, let's select from a table where, and that's the variable order by, which is, it's okay. Then if it's store procedure, if we can have a store procedure, in a store procedure we can specify specific data type. .NET guys can specify specific data type. If it's ad hoc queries like this process, and mostly code, if they use close code like that, they add value with and then just a pass control what user enter value or something else. So value comes from control and directly goes to database. And this way, by default, we have an varchar. But if you have a table and your type is varchar, so that's trigger convert implicit, and over a whole column you need to convert all return variable to appropriate type to make it happen. So that's the proper code what should be. Instead of using add with value, they should use parameters add, and then this way can be specified appropriate type, and that's converted and submitted to the backend. And that's the table structure. Just pretend we have such a table structure, and we have an varchar. So that's another question could be, okay, big deal if our application have a deal with dynamic SQL a lot, and let's have all our string and a backend as an varchar. It's possible, but that's another caveat. The thing is, varchar it's a Unicode. And if you have an ANSI standard database, which is used just the English characters and nothing else, so having n-varchar in your columns, you just a waste of space, because n-varchar, it's a double character. A char, it's a direct ANSI standard. n-varchar, it's a Unicode. So first byte, it's a collation what language used, or specific collation type and specific chart for character for each language. That's why n-varchar, it's a double byte, and you just wasting size of the database, of the data file, because maybe you don't need to have n-varchar. So that's the scale, true or false, how we can avoid the problem. The most, in my experience, the most cases I saw convert explicit presented because conversion to n-varchar, because columns in a varchar declaration. Any questions so far? I hope you're still with me. Now, let's go to second part. How to detect and in a more efficient way to find out what statement we need to look in a big execution plan. We have, let me go over processes, and 3 DMVs, 1 DMV and 2 functions. It's a view and 2 functions can help us. So just stepping up, that's the query that I wrote to detect convert explicit in a server, and I have a process which is looping through the servers and send result to the repository database, where in the morning I open up, analyze query, and then send recommendations and analyze where action needs to be taken. To do that, we have DM exec query stat, which is returned aggregate performance statistics that cached plan present in the SQL. Another function, DM exec SQL text, which is help to and return actual text that handle. And another DMF, it's a function, DM exec query plan, that returns actual query plan what SQL still have in the cache. Now we have advantage to parsing query plan, because query plan stores as an XML, and this way we can look inside the XML and retrieve just those plans that have a convert explicit, and nearby, for example, for this plan, that this plan what we have, if we right mouse click and show execution plan, that's the same plan what I trying to process. So let's take a closer look how to get report and show, okay, that's the execution plan what have a problem, that's my conversion convert explicit operator, and that's my query what I submitted, that's the database schema, and table. Column we can see clearly here. So let's take a look over the syntax. First of all, you need to know, because all Microsoft XMLs, and we have lots of XMLs from Microsoft. Let's start from SSIS packages, that's the XML. Execution plan, which is very important for us, it's a XML. All code behind for reporting services. I already mentioned SSIS packages or analytical services, all XML. Practically speaking, in a today technology, successful DBA should be at least familiar with XML processing and how to have a deal with that. First of all, we need to declare namespaces. Namespaces, let's bring me parallel as a schema. I would say in a database schema, it's a namespaces. So this way, we have a namespace which is point and process all the values and elements inside. Next one, function nodes allows us go over the elements and find. In this place you can see I have a namespace declare as a PLN, as a plan, and then plan, it's a wild card. I don't want to start with initially top node, just find where the warning element, plan, affecting convert, and in a convert issue I'm looking for sick plan, and this way I can retrieve, if we can look, that's right here, it's a convert issue attribute, which is sick plan, and then expression, that's the expression what have a problem, and we can see it's a convert explicit to int because original type is a nvarchar, so the data conversion going to upper level because int is a higher than nvarchar, and that's the value what I used before. And nearby we can see original to retrieve a task, it's a statement. So it's go a show plan. Let me see, show plan, and that's the statement. Statement text. That's hide it here. That's why I can't see immediately. That's my statement. From and number equal some value. So that's my statement. Why I show you this example of the XML? Because practically speaking, this plan extremely easy to read, and just a hover mouse over the task we can see, and we can read from the property or from a pop-up window and see all the values what we have. But if it's more complex execution plan, you can see it's not easily to find what the actual statement you need to look. That's why I used XML processing and bring nearby in a one. When I execute, just run this query, I have what the expression, what the statement, where a database happens, schema, and table. This way, if I run next I show you what I am running on a production environment, and that works well, not only one server, across a number of servers. Because XML structure pretty much solid, and especially with Microsoft, they structure it very well. So you can trust your XML processing, and you can retrieve in a one simple query call. You can retrieve all information what you need. Okay, now let's take a look over original production code. I will ask Mike. I'll send this query, and we can upload. Also, I'm looking to write article about it, because when I research about convert explicit, there's several articles which explains the problem, but practical solution how to retrieve the bad execution plan, where convert explicit presented. I haven't find anything, so I wrote this process a while ago, but just to make sure what we have on a web, if any other recommendations. So I didn't find any other solutions. Just explanation what the convert implicit is. So how this code works. Now I brought together all those three, one DMV and two functions that help me to have execution plan, actual query, database, table, and I can see what the all columns what I interested, number of executions, total CPU, physical reads, logical reads, logical writes, duration, calculation of average CPU, database name, what the object, it could be not directly table call, it could be store procedure, or it could be ad hoc queries, or if it's ad hoc queries, that's a database, and then we can see where it's happened. Then object name for a specific database and object, XML execution plan, and then processing of XPath expression with convert explicit and show a plan's direct statement. We're using cross apply because SQL DM exact SQL text, it's a function and required SQL handler pointer. By this pointer, we're able to retrieve text of the calling process. From DM exec query plan, just passing plan handle, we can retrieve direct query plan. After that, it's a XPath, just have a cross apply over the query plan as an XML. We're looking for nodes, and you can see it's the same expression what I wrote, only difference for production environment, I'm looking specifically for expression where it contains convert explicit. So only this way, only plans and all associated values returns for you where convert explicit presented in a plan. And also I filter out where DB is not null, because most convert implicit, some convert implicit associated with system databases, and that it's reference to DB null or it's irrelevant to your research. So I just filter out. I don't want to, if it's not related to specific production database, I'm not interested to review. Anyway, I don't have a leverage over the system database, unless you have maybe some processes which is running from the system database. And running this process, running this query on a schedule manner, you can retrieve and detect what execution plan have a problem, how severe the problem for your system. In most cases, to solve the problem, it's not too hard. I got several cases when I just, that was a store procedure and someone instead of 1 as a string just used 1 as a number, and that's cause and trigger convert explicit. So I just surrounded 1 in an apostrophe, and that was done. But this query gives you easy and fast way to detect an actual problem. Another, I don't want to say difficulties, but some challenge, if you would like to centralize, so how I created the process. I have a server, let's say it's kind of maintenance server. When we're running Idera or other product, it's out of production servers. And I have a special table where all servers, let's say, quote unquote, report to me all execution plans with convert explicit. And the difficult is if you try to run open row set, for example, you can't do it because limitation is open row set can't use XML data type and any XML processing. So you can create SSIS package and just a list of your servers and then just changing a source, you can submit this query, and then destination can be your central repository where you can have it. Or personally, I wrote very light console application using C#. Just very quickly, I'll go over the code. If you maybe it gives you a clue. It's very simple C# console app, which is just a start. I have a process. You can hard code your servers. It's a fewer, or you can maybe querying and bring. If you have 100 of those, you can have your inventory, just read servers from inventory, and then in the loop just submit your query. And I put query in a resource file because it's pretty much big to have it embedded in the code, and too much maintenance to do that. And then just to have a process, I have a store procedure with table type parameter. So I just get result set after submitting query, and then send to my central repository. I just use dummy name destination server and your catalog global DB, for example. Then when you have a table, when you have the store procedure, and store procedure just sending a structure, that means you have a table type, a whole result set, just dump into your repository. So this way, process very quick, and from my standpoint, very easy to maintain, and it's not hard to write. It's compared to other .NET program, it's a kind of entry-level programming thing. So nothing too hard. So that's what I would like to present to you. Again, convert implicit, it's a pretty much danger thing, because I saw in our production environment lots of processes have a very high CPU usage, and that's because of converted implicit. When we detected and fixed this problem, servers now running in a much better shape. Michael, is any questions from audience?
Yes, very good. We have one question. It is I'm having my screen is freezing here, but I'll summarize what the question is. I can't get to the question. My screen is freezing. Is the impact of using convert explicit is it can go from, say, an index seek to a full table scan. And so what is the impact on I/O is what the question is.
It's the same impact on I/O. If you can see on the statistics I/O time, you have logical reads. Where is that? It's you can hire a logical reads. Let me see. For example, when you run precise type, which is match, you have two logical reads. When you run and you get convert explicit, and then you can see logical reads 6, which is 3 times higher. That's your evidence. And elapsed time 1 millisecond, where here elapsed time, so it's definitely take resources. It's not coming just it's a problem. Again, depends what size of your database, what the activities, but definitely I would highly recommend DBAs. Just I'll send to Michael this my script, because I don't think so it's available on the net. I wrote it myself for my processes, and if you run this script just maybe several times a day on a one server, and just analyze, maybe you will be surprised what you get. But definitely it's have effect on the I/O for sure. And that's this logical read 6. Let me bring, maybe it's not visible because it's a different font. If I put it here, you can see logical reads is 6, where we have a convert explicit. And if I back to normal process, logical read is 2. So it's 3 times higher on an even small table. Just imagine what you can get from table if it's like a couple of million rows, even a couple of 100,000 rows. Sure, it's going to be effect.
Yes, I/O, the gift that keeps on stealing. Yeah, that's yeah. All right. With that, then, Alex, do you have any more?
Just I left time for questions. I believe maybe I overwhelmed kind of audience with XML processing, some .NET processing, but that's related. And to be a successful DBA as of today, we need to step up from just the right mouse click and set up properties for administration. In my experience and what I involve in the processes, my combination knowledge, database administration, database development, .NET, XML processes, and PowerShell, that gives me step up and find some problem or problem faster, and in some cases find solution more efficient than just looking for over the internet, find other thoughts. I would like to encourage each DBA, take a time, look what, if you never touch an XML, start working with XML. We have a XML data type available since 2005, and XML processes available, like Open XML available since 2000. Now it's like 16 years we have SQL Server support XML, and .NET. We have CLR processes, which is maybe we don't need as a DBAs, we don't need to be expert in a .NET. I'm not expert at all, but let's say how my colleague says, danger enough to write a simple process to handle and make efficient some technique. That's my message to audience, just to take it seriously. SQL growing in 2016, we have a next step. It's a JSON integration. I already learned JSON, and I had my presentation several months ago for JSON processing in a SQL Server. So let's say I am ready for JSON, and just follow up technology, just going to more and more complex. Very much soon, I believe it's going to be required to know at least XML processing. It's not only Microsoft, other vendor like Idera, they're using XML to store deadlock information, for instance, and instead of open trace, turn on trace 1222, if you have Idera, you can just query tables and get value out of that. But you need to know XML to do that. It's hard, big XML, it's not easy to do, but it's doable. That's what I done recently as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty good summary of, I think, where the industry is going. So that's one of the things that we try and cover here in this this virtual chapter, things that will help a DBA not only today and tomorrow, but even a little bit further down the road than that. The poll that we did at the beginning of this presentation was, what is your interest level in XML? And 80% of the folks said they were absolutely wanted to know more about XML. 19% or so said they would be interested in it if it was presented, but not super interested, but they would attend. 0 said they had no interest in XML. So 80% were very interested, 20%, okay, if you present it, I'll attend. 0% said, I don't like XML, I don't want to deal with it. Now, I don't like XML, but I have to deal with it.
So I see some interest. So I have ready presentation. I call it SQL Server XML 101, which is covered from ground zero to more advanced. It's a practically speaking about 90 minutes presentation, but I can squeeze it to 1 hour to fit in our time frame. If Michael give me ability to speak, I can present XML to DBA audience, just let's say XML from DBA to DBA. So I'll just share my experience and how we can treat XML. You will see, dear folks, so I just can give you my not so it's a very much recent experience. For example, reporting services. I created a report, and when I formatted report, it stopped working all of a sudden. And then I can't find what's going on. Just a column doesn't exist. When I see column does exist. So I just make a right mouse click on a report and select, give me a code of the report, and I found for some reason case mismatch. of the original column and what report code behind have. And code behind the XML, and XML is key sensitive. I just manually corrected casing and report start working. Just one of the example. I have plenty of those. So again, today in today's technology, it's very important to be on the same stage where Microsoft going, and XML is just growing.
We'll follow up with that and try and get it on the calendar. There is one last question I'd like to wrap up with here before we end. And someone asked, where do you find the list of the Microsoft XMLs like you were using in your in the code in your examples?
You can see. Oh, you know, I didn't save this link. If you go to Microsoft namespaces, you will see all list of standard namespaces, and practically each Microsoft XML, they have standard set of namespaces. And the worst part is, without proper declaration of namespace, that's the disadvantage of XML. It doesn't raise you an error. It just show you blank. You can't get a result. So you need to comply with proper namespace, and namespace is listed on a, for example, execution plan. It's a top of an execution plan. You can see listed namespace what you can use. If it's SSIS, you open SSIS as a XML, and you can see on the top namespace what you need to use if you want to process XML. Sometimes you need. I have I have lots of examples, but we're close to end of our session. So it's always top on the top element where namespace is listed. You can find that. I just yesterday saw the list of the namespaces.
Okay.
Just search over the Microsoft XML namespaces. You will easily find that. Because this session, it's not about Microsoft. I didn't keep a big attention to present and go deeply into the XML, just a high level.
Okay, yeah, that does sound good. So yeah, if you want more information on that, you can find it at the link that's provided by Microsoft there. And with that, I would like to say thank you everyone for attending today's session. Alex, thank you for great detail and overview on this hidden problem. With that, I'd like to say thank you again, and we'll see you all on July 13th. Thank you, everyone. Talk to you then.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, audience. Michael is still there. They disconnected.
Come on. Wow. Darn it.